Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. I am back to bring you my September budget, and I am going to apologize. There have been some very noisy cars driving by. I live on a busy street. I'm in Chicago, so I do apologize in advance for anything noisy. But this is my September spread, so I already set up the monthly, just because I figured like that would be much easier. These are some stickers from the Happy Planner. These little ones are from Planner Kate. These are for the petite planner size for Erin Condren, and I just cut the ends. And then just some washi. Honestly, I'm not even sure. I think I got it from Michael's. But the pinks are stuff that are coming out of my first paycheck of the month, and then the greens are coming out of the second paycheck of the month. This gray here would be what's going into October. I always get paid at the very tail end of the month. So like medical, dental, all of that for September are on the August spread on the last day, if that makes sense. And so yeah, I just wanted to set this up quickly, and then I will be going into my paycheck, the first paycheck of September. It's been a while since I've done anything budget related on here. To be honest, I kind of fell off the bandwagon at first when COVID hit. Then I got back into it, but I felt like I needed to kind of do it by myself to get back into the groove of things. And I was actually not using the workbook. This is the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck workbook. I wasn't using this. I was using, I think I was using an Erin Condren, and I was, stickering it. And then I realized I didn't want to use Erin Condren anymore. I felt like I needed to get back into something that was a lot more structured. And so that is why I decided to come back to this planner. And what this is I printed these out. So I printed out July through December. I stuck it on, this is just like a notebook coil, like a large notebook. And then I laminated some cardstock and just kind of created my own, because the actual hard copy of the Budget by Paycheck workbook was sold out when I wanted to start using it again. So with all of that being said, here is the first paycheck tracker of September. I am going to dive in. I do not share my income, so like the leftovers are not going to be filled in right now when I show this to you. That's just a personal preference. I have people from work that follow me on my budget Instagram, and just for the sake of that, I don't want exact numbers on here. I will say that this is just my income. My boyfriend, he handles his own money. What I do get from him is to help towards rent. And what that also means is that not all of our bills are on here. So for instance, he pays for his own gas for his car. He pays for the cable bill, things like that. And Wi-Fi, so you're not going to see that on my budget. This is just stuff coming out of my paycheck. And what I also generally do is I budget fully for groceries, eating out, things like that. And then if he wants to pitch in, then he does. He is not working at the moment, so a lot of that is on me, and that's totally fine. I'm the one making the money right now. So I just wanted to preface with that. We also live in Chicago, so rent is definitely a little higher than some places. And it is myself, James, and then our son. So I'm gonna just list the incomes that we have here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so for incomes, what I'll do is my rollover. So I always roll over around $650 from the prior paycheck, and that helps me pay rent within the first paycheck cycle. So you'll always see around $650 coming in there. I definitely don't mind showing that. Then we have my paycheck. Then I have money that comes in from my stepdad and from James. My stepdad helps pay for the garage because he also keeps a vehicle in our garage. My parents literally live across the alley from me. And then the last is other. And so what that generally is if I just get any extra income for the month, or if I use money from my sinking funds, I put it as income on my trackers, and then I total that up here, And then you'll see later on that I have a sinking fund spending category, which is where you'll see that money come back out. So for rollover, I'm starting with I'm budgeting $650. I think that's what I budgeted. Solid. Let me confirm. I have my little notes up ahead of me. Yes. So budgeting $650, and then I'm not going to fill in those other categories, so you are not going to see a total. Like I said, that's just one of my preferences. Then we have 401k. We have HSA. So these things come out automatically before I get paid, but I add them back into my paycheck amount and then put them as bills because I want to keep track of what I'm spending in those categories as well. So then I have medical insurance. My medical covers both Amari and I. James is on his own insurance plan through his job. He unfortunately isn't working now because he works for a theater company, but they still have him on like insurance and whatnot. And next up is going to be car insurance. So my car insurance, we have 2 cars, and you'll see I have a sinking fund for car insurance also. That's for the one car, and then we got a second this year. It's actually my grandmother's old car. And so I pay her insurance for that car. So there's something I pay monthly and then insurance that I pay every year. I know that's a little confusing, but it just ended up being the cheapest option. Next we have rent. And we have Patreon. So I am a patron of Cindy Gunter-Baldo. I love her. Then we have Apple storage. And then, let's see. Oh, I got a freaking parking ticket. So that's listed under bills. I'm so annoyed. I live on a busy street in Chicago, and so during the weekdays, like what would be rush hours, like 7 to 9, the cars can't be on one side of the street, so you have to move them. But then on the other side, they can't be parked from like 4:30 or 4 to 6, because that's like the other rush hour. So you can't have the car parked there. Well, I forgot one day, because I've been working from home this whole time. And yeah, so I got a ticket. So these are the bills. I'm gonna fill in the budgeted amount. I'm not gonna fill in the dates. I don't really care that much. These, like I said, are all things coming out of paycheck number 1. So we have 401k. I'm not gonna fill that in. I'm just not sure. I haven't ever filled that in, and I don't know if I feel comfortable putting that number in. I don't know. Just for this video, I'm not, and I'm gonna think on it a little more. Then we have medical insurance. So I pay $157.02. Dental insurance, $9.24. Car insurance is $40. So I usually take that out in cash and then pay my grandma. Rent total is $1,700. Patreon, I pay $15. Apple storage is $2.99. And then the ticket is $100, so I'm budgeting $105, because you know, they just love to add taxes on things. Can you believe that? $100 for a parking ticket? I'm so annoyed. So that bill total is gonna come, oh wow, I'm not gonna fill that in because I don't have my 401k on here. That's fine. Next up, we have envelopes. So I do not do envelopes for my spending in groceries, eating out, that sort of a thing. I do use this column here. It's just not envelopes, it's just standard spending. And the way that I deal with that is I fill in, let me see if I have one here. Yeah, so I fill these sheets in, I print them out. I typically stick them in my personal sized cloth and paper planner, and then I take it with me and I just fill in what I've spent and see what I have left for the month. I have this in place of like a cash envelope since I'm not seeing physical cash coming in and out. That seems to work just fine for me. I do keep cash envelopes for sinking funds though. So I have some that are in cash, some on card, again, personal preference. And so these categories that are listed, I feel like my camera's shaky and I apologize. I'm set up on something different than I used to. So we've got groceries, eating out. Amari, that's my son. Gas. We're hardly driving anywhere, so not spending much of that. We have household, miscellaneous. Then I put just a space in another category, which is sinking fund, spending. And I don't typically budget for it, but I leave it here because I know if I have income coming in from those, then I want a place to show where that money is coming out. Then up here, sinking funds. I also guess I can put in the date. So the date right now is 8/29. I literally just got paid today because my paydays fall on the 15th and then the last day of the month. But the last day of the month falls on a Monday, so I get paid on the weekend. I don't know, that's just how it's worked. And then so for sinking funds, I have far more than the slots listed. So what I do here is I just put cash sinking funds and then Chime sinking funds. That's how I split them up. I've been using Chime. I'm thinking about switching to a different system just because Chime takes a few days for the money to go in and out. And I just potentially want to use something better. But that's what I have for now. So we'll use cash sinking funds and then Chime. So for cash, I'm budgeting $425. For Chime, I'm budgeting $148. Oh my gosh, I didn't even fill the numbers in over here. So for groceries, I'm budgeting $350. Mind you, this is for this paycheck. I know we spend a lot on food, but I think that also comes with where we live. For eating out, $100. For Amari, $70. So that includes like pull-ups, his apple sauces, apple juice, that sort of stuff. That can go under groceries. I just like to see how much of it goes towards him. That's just a personal preference. For gas, I'm only budgeting $20. Everywhere we go is really close to the house. We're still taking, social distancing very seriously. We're not really going anywhere at all. Then we have household. So for household, budgeted $40. Miscellaneous, $100. So that's going to be things like the Budget Mom's new Budget by Paycheck workbook coming out for this new year. It's releasing, or pre-release is in September. Just miscellaneous items like that. And then sinking fund spending will be left blank because, like I said, it depends on what I use this month. For debt, so it's gonna fall under extra debt. I have not paid debt since March. My only debt is my student loans. I stopped paying when they removed the interest, so everything's been on like a hold, and now that's been extended through the end of the year. So the reason why I stopped initially was because, given the state of the world, I wanted to make sure that we had bumped up our savings in the event that something were to happen to my job or anything. Fortunately, my job is doing really well, so there are no they do not plan to let anybody go anytime. So I do feel a lot more comfortable with the stability there. So now I'm going to pick back up paying my student loans. The reason why it's not going under a bill is because there is nothing technically due, so it's just going to be an extra debt payment. So for student loans, for this paycheck in particular, I'm going to be paying around $253.95. And then for extra savings, so this is just what's going to go towards my emergency savings. That's going to be $70. So I was putting a large amount towards savings. Now it's going to be split between debt and savings, just because I would like to start paying this off while there is no interest accruing. And that is my budget. Like I said, I don't have a ton of bills. This is not a full month budget. This is just a budget for the first 2 weeks of September. I will get paid again on September 15th, and then I will come back on and fill that second bill tracker in. What I also wanted to quickly show you, I'll zoom back out, is here's my expense tracker. So as you can see, it says $1,652.62. I ideally was gonna roll over $650 flat, but I can say now that I'm rolling over $652.62. That's how much I rolled over. And the reason why there's 1,000 is I always keep $1,000 on my card at all times, and I act like that money just isn't there. It's just a buffer. It's also for some sort of an emergency. If I just need the money on the card and I don't have any cash, you know, it's like, let's say I'm using sinking fund money and I don't have my sinking fund with me. Well, then I can use out of that and then pay it back. So I like to keep 1,000 there. You know, when I first started budgeting, it was a lot smaller. I think I was only keeping like 200, and then I got more comfortable, it's 500, and then so on and so forth until I got to the solid 1,000 on this card. And that's enough for me. So then I have my second bill tracker waiting, ready to go. I keep 2 expense trackers for both paychecks. Then I have here a cash envelope breakdown. And so what you'll see is I have 2 of them listed, and that's just because I have a lot of sinking funds. So I like to have it on 2 spreads for me to visually see how much money I'm going to take out. I originally put in an expense tracker here in case I wanted to track the sinking fund spending separately. I no longer want to do that, so that's just there. And then here is my debt payment plan. So I've already filled this out. Here are my student loans broken out individually. It totals $12,297.56. That is the only debt that I have left. You can also see my starting debt was $32,578.96. So I've paid off over $20,000, which is super awesome. That number was student loans and then medical bills from when I had my son. And then again, I had an expense tracker here wondering if I was gonna track debt payments separately. I don't think that that's gonna happen. Because I printed this, I was able to print out an order that I wanted. Yeah, I don't think that this is gonna happen. And then I have my monthly breakdown ready to go. I've already highlighted my categories. These are the colors. I use these same colors every month just to keep it, you know, the same. And then I have my Where Did My Money Go worksheet broken out into where I paid off debt, where it went to savings, and then I have my monthly comparison sheet also ready to go. I think that this is really neat to see where I was in August, where I'm at in September. Just a lot of info. And then I already kind of just decorated October, and then I did the same for November. I'm a little eager beaver. But I think these look so cute. So this is it for my paycheck bill tracker. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing my cash envelope stuffing, so I hope you're excited for that. Like I said, I have a lot of sinking funds. I also track my sinking funds on Chime on just like a slip, so I can see them broken out individually per sinking fund. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know how your budgeting is going during, you know, this time. If it's not going great, that's okay. Mine was not either. I am finally getting back into a place where I feel motivated again. And so I wanted to get back on and help maybe motivate some of you. So thank you again. Bye.